And now, ladies and gentlemen, gifted children and mature adults over 12 suffering from cerebral ennui, Channel 12, with absolutely no regard for your eupepsia, dyspepsia, or your sick child, brings you that eclectic panagrueling discursive neo-surrealistic blah blah that one-man, oh, we've got to turn pages while we're doing this, that one-man group thinker, specialist, ombudsman for the brain, that teacher who performs and performer who teaches, no, philosopher who performs, that existential...
Let's get it straight exactly who it is and what it is. We're crying in the night now. We want to know what we're going to watch here and what we're going to see and whether it's of any value to us. Crying in the night.
Remember how Roosevelt did that in the Winds of War? I picked it up from the Roosevelt. I copy every... There you are, Two Lovers. I think it's called The Lovers. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the man who started out on the Johnny Carson show and ended up on Channel 12 in Fridley, look at that, huh? You want me the name of that? Just a minute. It's called On the Threshold of Liberty, huh? Okay, look at that one. Can you read that? What does it say?
Seal.
Seal, yes. The man who believes that with your
Hey, that's in Douglas Hofstadter's book,
yeah?
Gödel, Escher, and Bach. That pipe picture.
That name sounds like an expletive. Here we go.
Douglas
Yes. Oh, I loved it. No, don't get that one.
No,
Oh.
we got that one.
All right. And oh,
Here,
I
pussy,
just love
pussy.
this. Is my favorite one. It's too bad it's the way it should be. Here, we're getting toward the end now. Just the picture on the right hand, please. Ah, there it is, New York. Why isn't it on the screen?
There it is, yeah.
New York, there it is, folks. And what is that thing that they said that something, oh, the Winds of War sounded like it had been written by a computer and it was a real bomb. In fact, it was an apple, apple bomb. Okay, folks, here he is, Laird Brooks Schmidt.
Here it is, Laird Brooks Schmidt.
You got me straight up.
That's
who did
Laird.
that?
Here's Laird.
Wait a minute. Yes, that's the surprise we had for you today, folks. With all this trouble, we got some Nordic people in there. It's got to be sedate. No, that's okay. And I would like to introduce you. Tonight we're going to talk about, what did I say? You can take the other one now to show what I look like. Write that up because I got the new hat and everything. We're going to try a few hats tonight. Evaluation is the name of this thing, so I'll wear my other hat.
Give me a hat.
Look at this.
Give me a hat.
George, you can have that one. Oh, wait a minute. We'll try to see which one. We want you people to vote on this now and come in to the studio here. We'll get our announcer, Sherlock O'Toole. Give us the address.
This is Sherlock O'Toole. The address is, tell me what the address is. 350 63rd Avenue North in Fridley, which is not a city, huh?
Zip code.
Northeast, zip code 55432.
Yes. And you can tell us which hat you like best. I got another one here, too.
55432.
Look
I
at
can
this one.
remember that. I'm not
Huh?
adult.
Huh?
I'm not adult.
You like that one? We could play a little poker together.
Inwiefern sind nun meine Empfindungen
Right. That's all
privat?
the hats I got. Try 'em. You give me that one, George, and you try this one.
Okay.
And let me have this one back. See what you like.
I think
Here's
I might have gotten a flake
here's,
of dandruff on that.
Sherlock O'Toole now. He's got his ready. I think that's the... Look at it. Isn't this
I
great?
keep trying to say this. Inwiefern sind nun meine Empfindungen privat? Nun, nur ich kann wissen, ob ich wirklich Schmerzen habe. Der andere kann es nur vermuten. Das ist in einer Weise falsch, in einer anderen unsinnig. Wenn wir das Wort Wissen gebrauchen, wie es normalerweise gebraucht wird, und wie sollen wir es denn gebrauchen? Exclamation point. Dann wissen es andere sehr häufig, wenn ich Schmerzen habe. Ja, aber doch nicht mit der Sicherheit, mit der ich selbst es weiß. Von mir kann man überhaupt nicht sagen, aber etwa ein Spaß. Ich wisse, dass ich Schmerzen habe. Was soll es denn heißen, außer etwa, dass ich Schmerzen habe? That's in
Translate it.
italics.
Oh, is that the end of the paragraph?
Man kann nicht sagen, die anderen lernen meine Empfindung nur durch meine Benehmen. I like the Bavarian accent. It sounds like rocks cascading down
I
a hill.
can't tell the difference between Bavarian and, I know Bavarian ice cream is good.
Yes.
What's
Bush
that?
Bavarian beer was good too
Tell us what that passage just told us.
It says, in what sense are my sensations private? Well, only I can know whether I am really in pain. Another person can only surmise it. In one way, this is wrong, in another, nonsense. If we are using the word to know as it is normally used, and how else are we to use it?
Because that's what he is.
Then other people very often know when I'm in pain, man. You want a picture? Dirty picture? Yes, but all the same, not with the certainty with which I know it myself. It can't be said of me at all, except perhaps as a joke, that I know I am in pain. What is it supposed to mean, except perhaps that I am in pain? Other people cannot be said to learn of my sensations only from my behavior, for I cannot be said to learn of them. I have them. Das ist richtig. Es hat Sinn, von anderen zu sagen, sie seien im Zweifel darüber, ob ich Schmerzen habe, aber nicht es von mir selbst zu sagen. The truth is, it makes sense to say about other people that they doubt whether I'm in pain, but not to say about it myself.
You got, that's great. All right, folks, when we want you to do the same, you see, today's language stories, it was called evaluation. Now I'm going to give you things to evaluate. Now, you can do all respond. We have a studio audience, and here's some things we'll ask you to evaluate. See how you are. Okay. We're going to simply rank these things in order. Where would you rather be on a Saturday afternoon? At the beach, in the woods, in a discount store? You have to put them in order.
Oh.
Beach, woods, discount store.
Yeah,
No, let's say beach. We can't go to the beach here. Let's say private swimming pool, a golf course, or discount store. Put them in order. Which one would you rather be at? You'd be thinking of that too. Sherlock O'Toole is with us today, folks, too.
It sounds like an MMPI. I always get puzzled in the MMPI question that says, do you have black or tarry stools? You know? I've never
You
really
don't
heard.
answer. The MMPI, folks, you understand what the MMPI is, a Minnesota multiphasic test. They should not give tests to people to find out whether they're crazy or having problems, because the test is made up to find out that you are crazy. So listen to Tony Grant on KSDP radio. You get the idea? 3 o'clock every afternoon, listen to Tony Grant. Don't go, let any doctor give you a test that asks you the significance of black stools, because if you say you got black stools, something wrong with you.
Tarry
If you say
stool.
you haven't got black stools, then you're weird.
It sounds like
They're
the
gonna
name
catch
of a. It sounds like the name of a 1930s baseball catcher.
Minnesota multiphasic.
Tarry stool.
Tari?
Tarry stool. Yeah. But it
I thought
spelled
it was
S-T-U-H-L. Tarry
thought it-
stool.
I thought it was a computer game. Atari stool?
No, tarry stool. Atari stool. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you got the, we have a lady in the audience.
brother,
which
Blackie
you
stool.
can't- would you mind if we turn the camera on you?
please first, and then,
Okay, we can have a camera on her, please?
no, that's
No, she doesn't want it. But the people, this is not fair to the audience ever to talk off camera to somebody. They want to see you. The light is nice over there. Okay, there you are. We're talking about evaluation. It's this simple. See, each day of our lives, we must make choices between competing alternatives. You can keep the camera on her. We want to look at her. Something. Oh, I see what you're playing. All right. So don't interrupt them later. All right, I won't. Each day of our lives, we must make choices between competing alternatives. Some of them are minor decisions. Shall I stay home tonight and watch TV, or go to a friend's house and observe his tarry stool? Shall I wear my... Incidentally, folks, from last week, I have to have a little review at this time. And don't forget, folks, this is the... Did I get it right? Huh? How about that? Remember that? The flatulence level of beans. Did you look up the word flatulence? F-L-A-T-U-L-E-N-C-E. Flatulence. Soybeans are the worst. Well, above that, of course, you got what? Above soybeans, you
You
got
said barley.
barley.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. And we rated the Winds of War a number 10. Winds, see? women who sit in.
You sound incredibly interested in the excretory function to me.
Oh, I
Smith.
am excretory is my whole thing.
Yeah.
See?
I have this impression that they should have an organization of coprophiliacs, and
Coprophiliacs. You want to? We can't.
their national anthem would be "Du du liegst mir am Herzen."
A coprophiliac. Well, we can't explain everything except that coprophagus means to eat garbage, and coprophilia. We can't explain everything. You understand that? So what the theme song for the coprophiliacs would be?
Du liegst mir am Herzen.
Okay, you understand that we know. Wait a minute here. Something's wrong with that picture. There. How about that, huh? No, this way. How about this? Huh? No, I can't get it right. Wait a minute. Let's see. How can I? What?
Let me come over here and see if I can straighten this
How-
out. Oh, excellent.
All right.
Ausgezeichnet.
The point is, we know that it's just fun. See, race. What is there amount of surreal when you say that and all that stuff, and there's only about a few people going to forget it. Okay, here's the point. We said, where would you rather be on a Saturday afternoon? Now, that took a long time to get that Saturday afternoon. Mark is holding up the light. The Mark Bass is on camera today, of course. Glenn Fleckley at the controls, and there is a man who, look what Glenn Fleckley can do with his controls. He's running the whole thing with his big toe. Look at that. Look in there. And he's naked. Glenn Fleckley, for heaven's sake, put something on.
In Pacoima, California, across the way, some young black people live.
Say, listen,
Kids
Pomona,
and young grown-ups.
Huh?
O'Toole was visiting them one day, and he happened to notice a gallon wine bottle in the corner of the living room. It was Sauterne or Chablis, judging from the color. "You haven't offered me any of your wine," O'Toole said, half kidding. The men all had a big laugh, and one of them said, "It isn't wine." The following night, they began spraying O'Toole with the liquid. They put it through hypodermics that they pushed down through the ceiling at different spots. The hypodermics bristled and swarmed like iron filings under a magnet.
Wait, that was good.
O'Toole
What?
moved quickly from place to
Wait a
place
minute,
fast.
wait a minute. That was a good little phrase. I like that. They did something like what? The simile there?
The hypodermics bristled and swarmed like iron filings under a magnet.
This is written by Sherlock O'Toole, right?
O'Toole moved quickly from place to place fast to
Is it
avoid the
clean,
spray.
Joan?
But new needles appeared above his head everywhere he went in the apartment. They seldom missed O'Toole. His hair became wet, and a salty, greasy liquid streamed down his face.
Salty and greasy. You can't have the both. They wouldn't work together.
Now the men in the apartment below O'Toole's got busy. They sprayed the stuff up at him through floor cracks. No hypodermics here. These men had hoses.
I know where that came from. That came from
O'Toole was-
Naked Lunch. That's the Naked Lunch style. William Burroughs wrote
O'Toole
like that.
was thoroughly wet as he knelt at the floor cracks and pasted craft paper over them. He used up a big roll of craft paper.
Come get me.
It took him and Elsie over an hour to cover all the floor cracks. He and Elsie had arguments at times. "You don't see that my hair's streaming wet." "Fine, fine," said O'Toole, his voice cracking as he moved swiftly from place to place in a zigzag path, moved and stopped, then moved again when those needles cut up with him, poked through and got him squarely in the eye. The pills gave him the speed and endurance to stay ahead of the needles a good part of the time throughout the night and well into the next morning. The spraying stopped while he was doing a quick garbage run through. He'd found matchsticks
This
and
is why-
scraps of paper among heaps of cooked
Want to get it?
garbage mixed with
All right.
coffee grounds.
How about you?
When he came
Want to
out
begin?
from under the sink, his hair was
Okay.
only wet with the
Okay.
cabbage water,
Ah,
and
I'll
roaches
take-
crawled up his arm.
great. And raise you 50.
And
See
roaches
that movie
crawled
last
up his
week
arm.
on Channel 5 where the guys played cards and the German made them win and lose? And another guy paid his whole month's salary to get one letter from the guy to the major? All right. Now, the problem we start out with here today was, what's that?
When in disgrace
You like it
with
like that better?
fortune and men's eyes,
Flip it. Ah!
I all alone
Hey,
beweep my
Pinky
outcast
Lee,
state.
Pinky Lee. Say, folks, you want to come down to the show and have a good time with Pinky Lee? Or the guy that played Adolf Hitler sounded like Daffy Duck. Did you ever see anybody talk like Daffy Duck? That's my Bill Cap. I immediately went into character. See, I put this thing on here, and I become the kid. Remember Jackie Gleason when he played with, I don't know who he played with, a lot of guys, I'll tell you that. No, it wasn't Jackie Cooper. Huh?
That's right.
Jackie Cooper, and he played the kid, right? What was the story of the kid anyway? He had a television show of his own, and he never grew up. All right, we're evaluating. Today's, you heard an original piece of literature there from Sherlock O'Toole. Who was
It's
here
about
with
the
us.
speed period of the 60s when everybody was getting amphetamines and they were using them for weight reduction, and you'd go into a market and a woman would talk to you for 45 minutes about which kind of
Why can't
tomato
we get
sauce
George
to buy.
upside down every now and then?
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
Raise your brim, though, so we can see your face better.
Yeah, look at that. There it is, Sherlock
Or
O'Toole.
Holden Caulfield.
Listen, if you'd like a cop... Know what? It isn't, listen, you want to come down, all you got to do is wear a hat and come down and be one of our, what are they called? Audience auditors, huh? You want to see that trick? You want to see that trick again? Watch, I'm going to make this, the water run sideways, huh? Look at this. Watch, it is like
The
a
magic of
throwback, huh? Look at that.
television.
Did you get it on there?
Nah,
Let's
too
try
much,
it again. Here we
too
go.
much
Watch,
hilation.
watch closely, folks. This is evaluation. Evaluate this. Huh? Look at that. We made the water run sideways. You think Ernie Kovacs is so good? I look like Ernie Kovacs does now.
Kovash.
Kovash. You would do that, George. You're a picky unit, you know that? Listen, since there seems to be no stopping the buildup of the Defense Department, I'd like to suggest that we make the military hardware edible. Incidentally, a guy comes on the radio the other day. So I write this stuff. A week later, somebody comes on and says they ought to make food stamps edible, beef jerky and or cookies or something, so that there won't be any good. You can't live on them anyway, so you eat the food stamp. I mean, that makes. I'd like to. I mean that. I said I kind of got into a pattern there. Right now. How can I look directly in the camera? Why do we take George upside down?
Do you have crotch security?
Crotch security. Crotch security.
Use Excremo. Combination dentifrice and purge. Get rid of the bad breath at the source.
All right, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? Right now, you can't eat an MX missile, so why not make some nice whole wheat tanks? Some sausage pizza howitzers.
Use
And some personnel bombs that explode into Cheerios. That way, at least we could eat them when they became outdated.
How about a combination
And
depilatory
everyone
and
could
deodorant?
go along with the big defense menu, n'est-ce pas? Folks, you can have a copy of this. This, I had to put this right, though, don't I? How does it go? Like that?
That's not bad.
You can have a copy of the Schmidt on Everything newsletter by writing to
You'll write to Channel
12
12 3 5 0
63rd Northeast,
63rd Northeast
Fridley,
in Fridley, which is not a city but a state of mind,
55432.
55432.
You see, announcers have to work from
In Fridley, 55432. Your $15 subscription will entitle you to. No, I guess that's not here. And if you don't subscribe, send it to me. Care of
Now we
Sherlock
got
O'Toole.
the lady is back with
I
the
need some
problem.
money.
We want to get
I'm
back
poor.
to the problem. Wait a minute. It's where would you rather be
I'm
on
broke,
Saturday afternoon?
I'm broke, man. Give me some money.
Ah, look at that. Glenn Flecky and
I
James
need money,
Strobel
man.
in there together
I-
now.
send me
Well,
money.
no wonder the other camera isn't working.
They always send you flowers when you're dead. Send me mine when I'm alive, I always say.
All right, now
I always say that.
here's the ranking order question. The following rank order questions. Okay, you got this? We're going to do it to George for a while, huh? Thank God, I'm go back to normal.
When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state. And troubled of heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate. Or
Who's
Dylan
that by?
Thomas, and look upon myself and curse my fate. That posthumous sound
Did
of
you ever
Dylan
think
Thomas.
of doing a stand-in for John Houseman?
Jesus,
Huh?
we don't really like it. We earn it.
Oh, I've heard that commercial.
We earn it.
Who said?
Wonder
who
what kind
says-
of breath he has when he says that.
Yeah. Oh, Houseman. Yeah.
We
You know he started acting at the age of 71. He was the director of a school. Okay, we're going to go back to the lady that has the answer to the question. Where would you rather be on a Saturday afternoon at a private swimming pool? What was the other one? In the woods or at a discount store? Okay, can we get a shot of the lady over there now?
No,
Huh?
this thing, that was,
Okay, what was the answer then?
private swimming pool, woods, and discount store, in that order.
Okay, Joan O'Toole, where would you? I'll give you one. How do you learn best? Through pictures, independent study, or seminars? Why didn't we ask her a question earlier, George? Let's get a shot of both of them with this other camera, Jane. Okay.
She always figures she's being trapped if somebody asks her a question.
What does this commit me to?
Wonderful. Glenn, that's great work. That was Glenn Flecky's, what do you call that, a wipe? Okay. Here's the evaluation you have to do. How would you do you learn best? Through lectures, independent study, or seminars? I gotta comb my hair, George. This is terrible.
These questions depend upon the individual.
Yes, that's what we're trying to tell you. We're looking for absolute reality. Give me the camera. I gotta have something so I can comb my hair. I'm not gonna comb my hair this
Who
way.
was that Englishman that somebody said, he was sitting in a brown study for about 2 years, and finally he woke up and he says, I accept the world and everything it stands for. And somebody else says, by God, he'd better.
That was last week, George, when we were talking about the determination of its existence. Why didn't you say something then? Or you just kind of thought about it now?
Hell.
All right, I want to read you something about Nixon I wrote 9 years ago. You can evaluate this, George. You can say, first of all, the first thing in evaluation is to have what?
Bad breath.
It helps. But at least you have to have some criterion.
Bad breath.
You've eaten there, haven't you?
Bad breath.
You remember the
Bad breath.
ancient Roman criterion? He had a charge of about 100 soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And the centaur. All right.
Bad breath.
Now this is a little nostalgia. We thought we'd have some nostalgia in here every now and then. It's Schmidt on Nixon. I really had the show Schmidt on everything. And you can get a picture of this column, Jane. Look at this. Oh, there's too many things. Wait a minute. Maybe I can get this so you can read it. No.
Schmidt on Nixon.
You'll hear
Okay.
now.
That's the
Schmidt
column.
on Nixon.
Okay, we're going to hear from Schmidt on. At that time, I put the name of the thing it was going to be on. That was in August 15th, 1974.
Are we supposed to evaluate it or what?
I'm going to ask everybody to evaluate the comments. I'll take
You'll
about.
hear Schmidt.
I'll read about 6 comments, and you. First, we'll have to compare them to something. How are we going to compare them to what?
I think Nixon is pretty much sewer
No,
generous.
we're on another subject, George. Which is what are we going to compare it to?
Compare what? To
when
a
you
road?
evaluate something, you have to compare.
To a summer day?
Compare to. Well, I'll do it. You evaluate it. Whatever way you see fit. Okay. What's
Shall
that,
I
Mother?
compare thee to a summer day? No.
Okay. Well, here it is, 1974, folks. Remember this? Well, I warned Richard not to take all those trips to San Clemente, Camp David, and Key Biscayne. Richard, I said, stay in the Oval Office. They can't corner you there.
You can't cornhole you there.
What do you think? Want to go ahead?
Sure.
Oh, it's not bad over there. We'll get some pictures of the audience so they get laughing. Never mind.
No, you may not want to see somebody react.
By the way, why do they always say a White House aide said today? Are our presidents surrounded by male nurses? Can't they talk with themselves?
Here, here.
Let's rate them on a scale of 1 to 3. It says 1 is terrific, 2 is... No, 1 is terrible, 2 is not bad, and 3 is...
Horseshit.
George, we're unfriendly. We'll presume that nobody noticed that slight discrepancy. No. Okay, 1 is...
that they'd cultivated since World War II. There have been people actively agitating in England since the early 1980s to reestablish hemp as a paper crop alone because of England's lack of trees. They basically import every scrap of paper, and anything a farmer can do to make a crop like that is going to be is well worth it. So it took them quite some time. There's talk in Canada of several of the provinces relaxing the restrictions, going to a European style of allowing cultivation to happen up there. If we see hemp cultivation in Canada this year or next year, we'll see it in the United States in the following year, mainly because of NAFTA. Anything they can do in Canada, we can do here.
Now, isn't that going to be sort of a hard sale for a congressman to say, let's legalize hemp. I mean, it really opens them up as a potential target for an opponent.
Well, they really have to understand that when they talk about legalizing hemp, they're not talking about legalizing drugs. They're talking about reestablishing some really sound commercial businesses that used to be in the United States and were promised back in '38 when Congress passed these ridiculous marijuana laws. They promised the industry, we will protect you. You'll be allowed to cultivate hemp. The hemp industry will continue to thrive. If you have further expansions and stuff, it'll all be great. Well, here we are. We have no hemp industry except for what's been growing since 1989.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really in the favor of reestablishing one of the environmentally beneficial plants that can be grown. I mean, hemp requires none of the fertilizers and the pesticides that cotton requires. It's annually renewable, unlike trees. It can be used to manufacture all these products without producing all of the pollution that's being used to manufacture all of the other products. Paper made from trees is extremely chemical intensive, requires sulfuric acid and chlorine bleach and a whole bunch of this other stuff. We just don't use that when you manufacture paper from hemp. To this day, anything that is kept in an archival material is kept on hemp paper because its shelf life is almost 1,000 years. Paper made from trees, the shelf life is 30, 40, 50 years, which is why we're seeing books degrading in the libraries now. They're falling apart at the bindings. I encourage anybody to go look at the books. You'll see anything that's published prior to 1850 is made with a part of hemp, cotton, and other natural fibers. Those books are still pliable. You can read the pages and they don't break. You get anything that's made between 1850 and 1910 and it's fallen apart. So we're really talking about saving what's there, saving our history because we'll print it on paper that's going to last forever. We're going to allow the farmer to have this additional diversity. We're going to help the environment by stopping some of the pollution-causing industries, and we haven't even touched upon the fact that hemp can be used as a methanol fuel to fuel all the cars and trucks, and I mean, there alone we're talking about a tremendous impact. So,
I would think some of the gas companies might have a problem with
well, this
that.
is where I think that we're going to find our biggest problem is going to be when push comes to shove. Are the gas companies and the paper industry or the forestry products industry, are they going to really put up a big stink about it? And I think they're going to be the ones that really complain the loudest. Right now they're currently using their other mouths, basically, some of the other organizations that are saying, this is just a ploy to legalize marijuana and all the rest of that kind of stuff as their method that they used back in the 30s that worked real well for them, use the newspaper, spread disinformation, and try to sabotage it from within.
Well, what kind of movement is there to legalize for these types of uses? I mean, is it a large group of people? Are these the type of people that are going to get it?
It's a much larger, yeah, it's a much larger group of people than would be considered the marijuana legalization movement. The marijuana legalization movement, I would say, would probably be half the size of the hemp legalization movement. Partly that's because the people that are in favor of legalizing marijuana are in favor of legalizing hemp, and they think this is a really great way that they can, look, here's another reason why this plant should be legal. Not only is it, supposedly safe and all the rest of that stuff, here's another great thing. But at the same time, it's brought in a whole group of people that could really care less about the drug aspect of the plant. I spend my time 8 to 10 hours a day focusing strictly on the commercial applications, and even if I wanted to, couldn't think of how I could spend any other time or devote any other time to any other parts, medicinally or recreational use of this plant. So it's brought a whole group of other people, it's brought environmentalists into it that just otherwise wouldn't have even given any consideration at all to cannabis.
Well, it sounds like the recreational use movement is actually detracting from the